This is Valley News Live at 6.
Good evening, everyone. We begin with breaking news. Court documents say a man is now admitted to killing a teenager after a political dispute in Foster County.
It happened early yesterday morning, about 3 a.m. Authorities say 18-year-old Kaylor Ellingson of Gray City was walking on a street of McHenry when he was hit by an SUV. He died of his injuries at a Carrington hospital. Now, court documents say 41-year-old Shannon Brandt told state radio that Ellingson was part of a Republican extremist group and that he said he was afraid and they were coming to get him. Brandt admitted to consuming alcohol before the incident and that he hit Ellingson with his car because he had a political argument with him. Brandt has been charged with criminal vehicular homicide and leaving the scene of a crash involving injury or death.
This is a very tragic situation, not only for the family, but for the officers involved and those officers who were at the scene. Those officers and their families will carry this situation with them for the rest of their lives.
New tonight at 6, the 4 Fargo police officers who shot and killed a Mapleton man last month have been cleared of any wrongdoing. And North Dakota Attorney General Drew Wrigley says criminal charges will not be filed. It
happened August 1st outside a home in Mapleton where shots were fired. A call came in for shots being fired, and it turned into an hours-long standoff with 35-year-old Andrew Martinez. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley shows us some of the body camera footage from that day and why authorities say the shooting was justified.
Andrew, this is the police. Can you come over to us?
For hours, local law enforcement say they pleaded with Andrew Martinez to surrender peacefully and to come out of his Mapleton home unarmed.
We're not here to hurt you. We don't want to hurt you. We want to get you some help.
Cass County deputies were initially called to the home for shots fired, later learning Martinez may be experiencing a mental health crisis. And shortly after getting on scene,
shot fired. Second shot fired.
While no one was hurt by those shots, officials say it escalated the situation, prompting a shelter in place for neighbors, and deputies called in backup from the North Dakota Highway Patrol, Fargo and West Fargo Police, and the Metro Street Crimes Unit.
Mr. Martinez told negotiators several times that he would be coming outside with a firearm.
Officials say despite desperate pleas to Martinez from his father, his brother, and conversations with negotiators, nearly 5 hours after officers first arrived on scene, body camera footage shows Martinez as he starts to come out of his front door, and officials say Martinez pointed an AR-15 rifle at officers.
Front door, AR rifle.
Drop it, man!
The video, shown Monday morning, stops before 4 officers fired what officials say were more than 20 rounds at Martinez, hitting him 5 times and killing him.
They were left with no alternative. They have people living all around the area.
We, as law enforcement, do not train to wait to see what happens because lives can be lost at that point.
When asked if law enforcement could have left the scene and hoped Martinez would have de-escalated himself, Sheriff Johnner says that wasn't an option.
If we drove away, what if that individual came out of the house and hurt someone else?
Sheriff Johnner says his office will use this incident as a training tool going forward and says they will continue to keep the Martinez family in their prayers. Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
In a statement this morning, the Martinez family says they're saddened the officers' actions were deemed justified, calling on law enforcement to reevaluate how they respond to people experiencing mental health crises, in part saying, quote, "It's hard for us to understand how a call for help to save his life during one of his lowest moments ultimately ended his life."
And Fargo's police chief says all 4 of his officers involved in this incident will be back on the streets soon, pending an internal review.
The weather cleared up from this morning to make for a great evening. Let's turn it over now to Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson for a look at how long this is here to stay. Hutch?
Yeah, for a little while as we head into the evening. Thanks, Stacy. We're looking in at our Luther family forward view here at a gorgeous setting sun that's going to take place this evening. After some much needed rain made its way into the FM area, right now all of that rain activity is exiting our viewing area. A couple of Lake of the Woods area showers, and those are actually slipping off towards International Falls right now. few clouds in that area. Earlier today, we had thunderstorms fire up this morning, and they were hailers out there to the west, Stutsman County, some hail up in the Devil's Lake Basin as well. Then as they passed quickly through the FM area, we got a little bit of rain here, but the hail, well, that amounted to some pretty good sized hail. I'll step back here. You can see the old lighter there, giving us an idea of the magnitude of those. Jason and Jerry, thanks for uploading your photo. Rainfall, yep, where you see the greens and the yellows, we had an inch or a little bit more of rain estimated by the radar. A few tenths where you see the darker blue shades. Here are some measurements. Now in the FM area out in Moorhead, well, 1500ths or so, but elsewhere in town we got as much as about 1/4 of an inch to about 7/10 of an inch up there in Pekin, and 6/10 out in Streeter where the hail fell. All right, temperatures tonight, well, they'll be comfortable. We do have some changes tomorrow. A cold front makes its way through. That'll impact us for the remainder of the period. I'll have details on all of that here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
New tonight at 6, a Spirit Lake, North Dakota man was sentenced to 30 years in prison for the production, distribution, and possession of child porn. Johnson Shea Tollefson pleaded guilty earlier this year, was also sentenced to a lifetime of supervised release and must pay $12,000 in restitution to 4 victims who were depicted in the images of child pornography. This case alerted law enforcement after the social networking website Tumblr reported a user uploaded child porn images during a private blog on the platform in December of 2019. An investigation revealed Tollefson produced child pornography in Dilworth depicting a toddler-age female and distributed it to other Tumblr users in exchange for more child porn.
A Fargo man is in jail after police say he attacked an officer with a shovel. 29-year-old Tyree Gardner is being held for terrorizing, criminal mischief, and assaulting an officer. Police were called to the 3400 block of Interstate Boulevard Saturday night for a report of a man breaking windows. When officers arrived, police say Gardner tried to hit one of them with the shovel, which forced police to use a taser on him. Police records indicate Gardner is also a registered sex offender. Fargo police are asking for your help in locating a missing Fargo teen. 16-year-old Tiana Velika was last seen around 5 p.m. yesterday in the 1800 block of 39th Street South in Fargo. Contact Red River Dispatch at the number on your screen with any information. Later, here on Valley News Live at 6, a milestone was reached today for the furniture mission of the Red River Valley.
But they're both Mike 1, right? So.
All right, we do have some cooler weather heading for Tuesday with a few spotty showers. Your hour-by-hour forecast coming up right after this.
This is Valley News Live.